This is not a regular village transformation. We're about to turn a plain village in the set of one of the most iconic movies of all times. Keep watching. This valley looks like a Minecraft Christmas card. I discovered this amazing place in the early stages of my work, and it's just a couple of fireworks flight from my base. I knew from the beginning that I wanted to transform this village into something special, something that fit perfectly the landscape. Then one day, flying over the valley on my way back home, I saw it with a different perspective, and I suddenly knew what I wanted to build here. Follow the tunnel, the snowy road. Imagine you were here for just one day. Maybe you didn't want to be here. Then a blizzard closed the tunnel, the only way out. Except for a player with an elytra. And you got stuck. But worst of all, you wake up the next morning and find out that your awful day is repeating again and again. Got it? I already spoiled it in the title. This valley was always meant to be the Groundhog Day little town. In the movie, Bill Murray is stuck in
Punxsutawney.
Okay. But the movie was actually filmed in Woodstock, Illinois, where many locations are still visited by tourists every day. I'm assuming everybody knows the story, unless you lived under a rock for the last 30 years, but if you haven't seen the movie, I warn you that there might be spoilers, so click pause and watch the movie. It's romantic, funny, with a great Bill Murray. Then come back to watch the rest of my video. Luckily, most of the terrain I have to remove is snow, but I will also need later to winterize the valley. Winter is gonna be cold, it's gonna be grey, and it's gonna last you for the rest of your life. I was distracted removing blocks when, whoops! I've been down there before, but from here, it's quite a view. I'm covering part of the valley to have a flat surface to work with. We're at level 120, and there are still high mountains above us. Plenty of space to build. These are the moments when I remember when it was before the Caves and Cliffs update. I set up a beacon and carved the mountain to have even more space. The valley is still ugly, but landscaping now it's pointless. I may need to dig more. I also look up the villages in a hole so they won't perish while I'm busy building. Hey, I put beds and a window. It's not like I buried them alive. Gathering materials is not the best part of any project, but I must admit I always enjoy the process, even when I don't have the raw materials in my storage and I have to farm or mine them. It's somehow satisfying to fill so many shulker boxes of different items, knowing that soon your project will come to life. Let's grab the iron from the industrial iron works for no particular reason, other than I like coming back here. To add colorful details, let's collect wool from my farm. I guess I'll need some green, red, brown, white, gray, black, purple. I will show you the gathering and crafting of every single item, but it took me about 20 Minecraft days. There were so many blocks needed that I started to question my choices. After the rain, there's a rainbow over my base, so let's fly to our beautiful valley, carrying all the materials we need. I started with a paved road that goes through the city, creating the foundations of all buildings and features. I usually don't like modern style in Minecraft, but the locations of the movie include a Gothic opera house, a Victorian manor, a classic bandstand, and many historical buildings. I had plenty of fun planning the town of Punxsutawney.
Punxsutawney.
That's what I said. A quick recap. The main characters are supposed to stay at the Pennsylvania Hotel that we'll build right here on the main road. Phil says the Pennsylvania Hotel is so full and he will sleep at the Cherry Street Inn instead, that is gonna be over there in a nicer area. The Pennsylvania Hotel is not awful, and it's not even a hotel. It's Woodstock Opera House, a historical building from the 19th century. I created the exteriors as faithful as the original as I could, but then I designed the interiors like those of a hotel. The original building is made of bricks and limestone. I used sandstone instead, and mangrove for the details. The base of the tower in the lower left corner has these big windows. I imagine it would be nice to just sit there and chill out watching the snowy street. Or the rain. Watch carefully. I'm so glad I caught this on the replay mode. I was building the walls without caring about the thunderstorm. When suddenly... Come on, what were the odds? The lightning hit me. I was a bit shocked, staring at the fire, so I went to sleep and call it a Minecraft day. The wall opposite to the tower is totally plain, without windows or decoration because there will be another building next to the hotel, while all other sides have tall windows to let the light in. The staircase brings us to the first floor, where you can find a large balcony, 4 small hotel rooms and a shared bathroom. Yeah, Phil knew that the hotel wasn't too fancy. At the end of the corridor on the first floor there's the tower, with a spiral staircase leading to the second floor. The second floor is a small attic, with some storage and archives. I added a window on the back of the building to have some light inside and also to break the monotony of the roof. The tower has a large round window on each side, and again, this is as faithful to the original as I could. When Phil becomes exasperated, he repeatedly commits suicide, and one of these times he jumps down from here, the tower of the Pennsylvania Hotel. The small turret at the top of the tower can be really reached, it's just decorative. The real building, the Woodstock Opera House, has an interesting past. Now it's a theater, and look, I think I really nailed it! The hotel turned out just amazing with its tower, the balcony, the windows. We will visit the inside later, but for now, I can understand why Phil Connors didn't like it. Yeah, it's really an all at the beginning of the movie. Let's leave the rush of the city for a more pleasant neighborhood. I assume the definitions of rush and pleasant will be valid when the valley is complete. The next building is the Cherry Street Inn, a nice bed and breakfast where Phil wakes up every morning to have the same conversations with other guests. On the first floor we have a large porch, then the reception, the kitchen with the storage closet, the table where breakfast is served, and a little chill area. The house has a very peculiar shape, with many details, has a tiny bay window, the large porch and a couple of overhangs in the back of the building. I studied it for a long time with Google Maps and I think I got the shape right. I put on the ceiling and went to sleep without realizing that it was very dark up there, and then... My inventory was full with no weapons. I panicked and ate him uselessly with the meat that I was eating. Then I tried to prevent it from exploding by getting away, but I wasn't fast enough. I was so mad. It did a lot of damage, but it could have been so much worse. I cleaned the mess. I replaced the blocks that got destroyed. What else? Those 2 bricks there? And it's like nothing happened. The Cherry Street Inn has 3 bedrooms, larger and with nicer details than the hotel rooms. I used dark oak doors and furniture and brown beds to make it look elegant, and I added empty chisel bookshelves that looks like nightstands. I must admit, I had planned to put a bathroom in each room, but it didn't fit. So even the B&B guests will have to settle for a shared bathroom. Okay, I will put paintings in each room. Is this enough to say that the Cherry Street Inn is better than the Pennsylvania Hotel and Phil was right? The attic is a cozy reading room, and it also leads to the small tower in the corner. I put torches on the floor before leaving the place during the night. Fool me once, fool me twice. The roof is in deep slate tiles with big patches of cobble deep slate, so it doesn't look too boring. Like the hotel, I accepted the challenge of being as faithful as possible to the actual building. The bars on the roof make it Victorian, but they are really here. The decorate is not the best thing in the world, but it matches the walls on the ground floor. When the movie was shot, this Victorian manor was a private house, but now it's really a B&B. I found it on TripAdvisor and it looks really nice and welcoming. I look at my Minecraft version, so imposing and yet so cozy. I put some leaves in the yard and a fence all around the house, but there's something missing. Custom trees. I wanted 2 trees in front of the house, but they had to be different. The first is a custom spruce with my favorite trick. Birch leaves are very similar to spruce ones in texture, but are brighter, so I used them on top to create a shadow effect. I added glow lichen to prevent mobs from spawning on the branches, and a sprinkle of snow layers. The second tree is another tree. I'm using oak leaves and it's shaped like a balloon. Maybe it's an oak tree? Let's fill the empty space near the Pennsylvania Hotel with a tip-top cafe. The diner will Phil and Rita sit and chat and later walk outside. It's another real building, although nowadays it's a restaurant with a different name and exterior. I try to capture as many details as possible from the movie scenes. The classic dinner tables, the chandeliers, the glass barrier that separates the kitchen from the dining room, and the large windows. On the outside, light blue terracotta is the perfect color to match the original paint, and I used a pinch of purple terracotta's texturing. I really liked the central veranda, so I added awnings on the other sides of the cafe. The kitchen should have a stove. It's a furnace, but the front side is not visible. Then a sink and an oven, some shelves with food and other useful objects, a cake, a beehive that looks like a crate. More food than slime is jelly. The cafe in the movie is full of details and decorations. On the walls you can spot a collection of clocks, so we will hang some frames with clock-like items. A compass, a clock of course, and it's an ender pearl, okay? Now some paintings. I want them to be small. I can't wait for the paintings of the new update. This is not okay. Colorful banners complete the veranda and a canopy covers the back exit. I always forget the glow frames exist. Let's give it a try. Hey, it looks better. In this one I will put a beetroot. Don't question me, I like it. Now let's change all the other frames, shall we? The collection of clocks of questionable taste is complete. In front of the cafe I'm gonna add 2 more buildings. They are not that important as movie locations, but are part of the town. I watched again and again the Ned Ryerson scene, remember? Ned Ryerson, bing! He is one of the characters the film meets over and over. Anyway, there are some Victorian buildings on the back of the scene with shops and colorful awnings, so I designed 2 buildings with a shop on the ground floor and a bedroom above. I will free the prisoner villagers to give them back the town, and this could be their main area. Obviously, they will go around pointlessly doomed to horrible deaths or getting stuck forever behind azaleas, but that's another story. For this reason, the villager area, not their inevitable demise. I'm putting many profession tables inside the shops and also many beds. I never find a way to use sandstone. Let's face it, it's not the best block, but the trim on the second building turned out not bad at all. The 2 buildings are similar, they're supposed to be. They're separated by a dark alley with a dustbin and lots of snow. Did you get it? If you don't remember the snowy alley scene, don't worry, I'll show you all the features at the end of the video. The next location is the gas station where Phil stops when the road is closed. I had so much fun with the fuel dispensers. The powers look like an old display. The whole structure turned out pretty good, and inside the gas station there's a little shop and a public phone. Yes, it was the 90s, that was still a thing. The Phil uses to find a way to get out of town. The phone is an important detail, so let's build a tiny one. First a frame, then a lever as the telephone hook, and a dark prism into the frame. All those little squares look like a numeric keypad. Hello, I am a celebrity in an emergency. In the movie, many things happen in the park, and all these scenes were shot in Woodstock Square Park. The park should be here, in the center of the town and next to the cafe, with a large entrance gate. The Bandstand is the location of a romantic scene between Phil and Rita, and it's the centerpiece of the park. The current bandstand that you can see in the movie is not the first one, but it was designed in a classic style to match the Victorian vibe of the park. On the top, 4 redstone lamps connected to a daylight detector will light up only when needed. Everything revolves around the groundhog, so let's build this fella nice den, the goblet knob. It's empty, but we can pretend that Phil has already kidnapped it. It's time to landscape the mountains. I tried different flowers, but the azure bluette is the only one that fits with snow. See, flowers and the block underneath are unaffected by snow even in cold biomes, so they appear too colorful. The azure bluette instead looks like grass with a sprinkle of snow on the top. Luckily, I live near a flower forest, and I quickly set up the Shulkercraft classic flower farm. The spot was perfect, and I reckon I'll never have to worry about running out of azure bluette again. At a certain point, Phil decided it no longer makes sense to worry about rules and safety, and drives on the railway, chased by the police. Stone stairs are always perfect for railroad tracks, and I'm connecting them with oak logs and mossy cobblestone slabs. The railway goes into the mountain. Let's build a tunnel. Entrance should be a brick arch, something like this. Man, where is this guy? If I find him, I'll gladly put him down a misery. Nether bricks are dark enough for the tunnel walls, and at the end, black concrete is so black. If you stand back and watch it from afar, it seems to go on forever. Let's build the same tunnel on the other side. There it is. Both tunnels are done, and look there, it's snowing. Isn't this corner cute? Now this is the road. For the railway crossing, let's just craft iron trapdoors. On the other side too. But guys, never drive on the railways! Other vehicles aren't easy in a small scale, but I need to add at least 2 of them. The first is the Dodge Ram TV van, parked right here, next to the Groundhog den, and ready to film the whole event. I'm very happy with the glow frames used as car headlights. Wow, I feel like I'm just now discovering glow item frames that they've been around for what, 3 years now? The second vehicle is a snowplow. It's in the movie too, cleaning the highway close to traffic. It might not be the best element of the valley, but I think it's a nice detail that adds the right vibe to the landscape. Now I have to fill the empty spots by adding many custom trees. The valley is looking bigger and more alive. I'm starting from the park, with the bandstand, the groundhog den, the TV van parked right outside. The trees put the whole area together, and we will landscape the mountains soon, I promise. Let's set to my artificial lake to farm more ice. Then I need more and more leaves for the custom trees. The highway, the only way out of the valley, leads to a tunnel blocked by snow. I'm gonna rebuild the railway tunnel design on a bigger scale, like this. Do you see how the snow has filled the tunnel? Nether bricks for the inner walls, and black concrete for the optical illusion of an infinite tunnel. Yep, sorry Phil, there's no way out of Punxsutawney. Above the tunnel there's a waterfall. You probably saw it in previous clips. I didn't remove it. Instead, I decided to make it better. The edges have frozen, like this maybe. Now I will fill mountain lake creating water sources. Nature will turn some of this water into ice pretty soon. Look at this corner, with all the custom trees and the mountain finally texturized as it should be, with ice patches, rocks and details. So what's the downside? I have to repeat this landscaping all around the valley. I asked for help by hiring workers. You, my friend, are in charge of the shops. And you guys are working in this area while I turn those dirt markers into custom trees. You're going great, pals. At least until it starts raining. What are you saying? I know enslaving snow golems is not the solution, but I dedicated to this project too many hours. I'm tired. Every day I wake up in my bed in this town and I repeat the same actions, meet the same villagers, kill the same mobs, always building over and over again, and I... Wait, this sounds like... Oh, I got it now. I guess finishing the town of Punxsutawney was my way to redemption. Lucky me, it wasn't learning how to pronounce it. And now I'm finally free. But who wants to live? I'm so proud of this valley, even if it took me so much time. It wasn't just building the structures or gathering the materials. There was also plenty of research and planning, but look at the results. Oh, that golem is been stuck there for days. Should I care? Don't worry, the dirt staircase is temporary. It leads to the old safe house with the villagers. Time to settle in your new town, folks. You see, you can't sleep here anymore. Come on, get out. These guys suffer from Stockholm Syndrome and don't want to leave. Wait, where are they? Why are you coming up the mountain? I spent a week building you a whole town. I put the beds in the middle of the road, hoping they will get to sleep. Man, villagers have to be annoying. They're safe for now. I feel released. Hey, who wants a midnight snack? Wait, what? What? Do you see what I see? I think I broke my villagers. Do you know what today is? Today is tomorrow. Follow me to the exclusive Groundhog Day city tour. The visit starts from the imponent Pennsylvania Hotel. A fireplace is the entrance hall. You can sit here at the bar. Upstairs, there is the sleeping area with a shared bathroom and 4 small rooms. Humble but tidy. The spiral staircase leads you to the attic. It's actually a bit dusty up here with all these old books. Then, at the top of the tower, Phil jumped from here in desperation, but he didn't have an elytra. And we are right at the Cherry Street Inn. That's the kitchen with a storage closet, the breakfast table and the dinner table. Then a sitting area where Phil meets every morning the same guests. Upstairs there are 3 bedrooms. This is the larger one, a family bedroom. I love the attic with all those sofa and carpets. And you can watch not much from here, honestly. Look at the Dodge Ram TV van with the, techno TV stuff on the roof. Let's take a shortcut to the park. This is a Groundhog den. And the romantic bandstand. Do you wanna dance? These 2 buildings are supposed to house the villagers, but they are ignoring them. Let's visit this shop with some professional tables and even a counter. That's the gas station where Phil realizes that he can't leave the town. And let's not forget about the tip-top cafe with the chandeliers, the decorations, the kitchen and the diner tables. And as I get out of here every day... Watch out for that first step, it's a doozy. I added a line of electric poles along the road and also a nice lake where Phil and Rita go skating. That's the railway, the snowplow, and then the gas station. It's night again, and the dark alley is cold and sad. This is where Phil meets the old man, who is destined to die despite his efforts, making him realize that he is doing everything wrong. Which reminds me, take it big fella, you need it more than I do. While editing the video, I couldn't resist creating this map art. Where can I put it? There, in place of the second clock. Yep, and the copy goes at the Cherry Street Inn. What do you think, kiddo? Finally, this is what I wanted to see. The Cherry Street Inn full of guests. Kids are playing, This fella here enjoys the view from the window. It actually looks pretty sad. And down there, the staff is busy making breakfast. You're so kind, I'm starving. Let's visit the town with the shaders. Well, I thank you all for watching this video. Please remember to subscribe and leave a like, it's free. It helps me so much. I spent almost 10 days, real life days, in this project, but I had so much fun and it was totally worth it.
Waiting for the new update. Don't be a creeper. If you like what you see, raise your hands high and thumbs up for me, my MC.
Sir, what do you mean no vacancy? I built this place, you should reserve a room for me.